Hey guys, what's going on? I just wanted to do a quick camera review. This is not a thorough review, it's just a quick heads up for somebody who's planning on buying a new camera, specifically the ZVE-10. This is the camera that I use most of the time. I'm still old school with it. My 5D Mark II. This is the camera that I use to shoot Dark Girls, the documentary, Dark Girls 1 and 2. Dark Girls, the scenes that you see in the New York City scenes that you see in number 1 and 2. I shot with this camera. It got on the Oprah Winfrey Network and it was on Netflix and other places. If you've seen Dark Girls, you know what I'm talking about, but I shot it with this camera. Now, the reason why I say that is because even though this is an old school camera, this is probably the first, this is what's got it started and everything. I just want you to keep that in mind as I talk about this new camera, this new 4K camera. The reason why I bought this camera is because it's 4K and, you know, I needed a 4K camera. My 5D Mark II, a regular HD camera, most people are shooting with 4K, so I'm like, let me get the cheapest 4K camera and I should be good. But for some odd reason, this camera gets heated and it gets hot quickly and it shuts off. I don't know why it's doing that. I've set the sensitivity on high and it's still shutting off. Like I'm on a shoot right now and across the street, I'm shooting across the street. Just the fact that you can just see the sun on the road right here. I'm using this camera to do B-roll for my production and it just shuts off. And it's like, oh, it's hot, I gotta shut off. It keeps doing that. I'm in my studio using this camera as my studio camera. It just shuts off. My dome, my 36-inch dome is like, I would say maybe like a few inches away from it. It's not that far, but it's like, it's not that close to where the heat is so much that this camera needs to shut off. I'm in my basement. You know, heat rises and in the basement is cool. No matter what I do, this camera keeps shutting off and I don't understand why it keeps doing that. So I just wanted to warn somebody real quick. This review is not necessarily to crap on this camera. I just want you to be mindful. When you're buying something, because I'm coming from the sales world where I used to sell gear for years, right? So for over 10 years, I sold gear. I want to let you know when you're buying something, make your buying decision based on the pros and the cons. Take the cons into consideration just as well as the pros. So whatever balance you come to, then you're gonna get to that point. You're gonna arrive to that point. But I think somebody should know, I haven't really been searching for it. So I'm sure that's the reason why I haven't really seen too many reviews about the heat sensitivity of this camera. Maybe it's out there and I haven't searched for it and I need to check it out. Maybe after this video, I'll go on YouTube and I'll search to see if anybody else have made some videos. But this camera is getting hot for some reason and it just keeps shutting off, and I want to really use this camera to do the things that I want to do. Just like my phone is supposed to be simple to use, it's supposed to be easy to use. Now, just full disclaimer, I don't know the camera as well as I know my 5D Mark II. So I'm still learning how to use this camera and its settings and everything, but as a professional, I know the basic workings of a camera, and if it gets hot, it gets hot, right? So I don't want nobody to say, oh, you don't know how to use the camera, so that's why it's messing up on you. If you're in a hot environment, if you live in the desert or you're in California or somewhere where it's always hot, I want you to keep that in mind when you buy this camera, okay? Know the pros and know the cons, so that way when you make a decision on buying, you made an informed decision. That's how things go. That's why I used to tell my customers all the time when they called in trying to buy gear from me. So I wasn't always I didn't work on commission. So for me, it was great that I can have a conversation with somebody and say, hey, listen, these are the pros and these are the cons, and then they can make that decision for themselves. And that's my approach on my channel, on the Sando Pictures channel. So anything you see on my channel is gonna be authentic, it's gonna be real, it's gonna come from a real place. I just want you to understand that, okay? This is not a bad review on the ZVE-10. That's the fact that it gets hot. And if you are aware of that, then maybe you can do something to still buy this camera, because it's inexpensive and it's 4K and it's, you know, for the most part, it's easy to use. If you know that it gets hot, then at least when you're going into it, you're like, okay, I already knew it was gonna get hot, so let me just plan for that. Maybe you have an ice pack or a little fan, a noiseless fan or something next to it. Whatever things you have to do to get around that, you get this camera, learn the little features about it, and you can probably rock out with this camera. But I just wanted to make this video for somebody who may not be aware of the heat sensitivity on this camera. Even if you take it off standard and you put it on high, it's going to be hot. If you want to buy the camera, I'm going to put the link in the description. Go to the page and see the behind the scenes of the shoot that I had. And lots of people are reviewing this camera online and saying it's a great camera to use. Sony, I don't want you to say, look, when I apply for your affiliate program or something like that, or you don't want to do no business with me because I'm trashing the camera, this is about the community. You want the community to be aware, fully aware of what's going on out here when you actually put these things to the test, okay? So I'm not crapping on your product. I'm just making my community aware that know the con. One really big con of this camera is the fact that it gets hot quickly and it shuts off all the time. There's no way to override that I found so far. I haven't found a way to override the heat sensitivity and just let the camera keep going. If you guys know that, let me know. But you know, that's it. So y'all go ahead and use that information however way you want to use the information, and y'all be, you know, just go create. All right, use whatever you got to use to create. I'm using my phone right now to record this review. I could be using this, okay, but anyway, you get what I'm saying. Oh, and this little thing that I'm using right here, this is the ULANZI's quick release plate that I'm using on this. And I'm not partnered with ULANZI's yet, so this is not a commercial for them, but you know, it's a little quick release that I use for this stand right here. And I just pop it on there just like that, bada boom, and I'm in. And this little stand that I got off of Amazon is what's holding it, so I don't have to lug around a big bulky tripod. So that's what I'm using. The link will also be in the description for you to get it if you want to get it from my Amazon affiliate link. So all right guys, I'll see you on the next video. Harry B, Sando Pictures. Peace.